Want to buy some really awesome stuff like what's seen in this video? Then head on over to BigBadToyStore.com where you can shop thousands of action figures, statues, busts, replicas, graphic novels, and more by clicking the link in the description below. Yo Joe! Haha! Hey everybody, I'm John Harmon from Mint Condition Customs, and this is a review of the G.I. Joe Retaliation Battle Kata Roadblock action figure from Hasbro. I'm a huge G.I. Joe fan, and I'm very excited about the new movie. It was supposed to come out in June of 2012, but got pushed back 9 months and is now finally going to be released on March 29th. So, in celebration of the new movie's release, let's take a closer look at Roadblock here. Alright, first let's check out the packaging. Roadblock comes in the same G.I. Joe Retaliation style packaging that every other figure in the line comes in as well. The back has some photos of the figure in action, as well as shows us other figures in this wave. We also get a very brief bio for Roadblock. Honestly, I'm not a fan of the packaging. After the superb packaging we got during the Pursuit of Cobra and the 30th anniversary lines, this is kind of a letdown. There's no more file cards, and the orange and red color scheme of the card bag just aren't very attractive. I really love the design for Roadblock in the movie. He definitely feels more G.I. Joe than the all-black armor the actors wore in the last movie, and the design is translated well here in the sculpt of this figure. There's a lot of intricate detail throughout that gives off a very realistic feel. All the folds and wrinkles in his clothes look great, and I really love the muscle definition in his forearms. Look at all those veins popping out. That's definitely accurate to Dwayne Johnson. He has an Arashikage tattoo on his right forearm. Yes, in the movie, Roadblock has been trained by Snake Eyes and is a member of his ninja clan. I'll reserve judgment on this until I've seen the movie, but I can definitely understand how this can be seen as an unnecessary move. That tattoo used to mean something, and now it seems to be thrown around everywhere. But again, I'll wait until I've seen the movie to see how it plays out. As you can see, there's a few paint smudges on the arms as well. Definitely mistakes, but it doesn't ruin the figure for me. The vest he wears looks great as well. As far as I can tell from the movie stills, it's very movie accurate, with all the pouches and holsters and armor pieces. Now, I don't know why one knife holster on the front of his vest is painted white, same as the holster on his back. It's done kind of sloppily and seems weird. I think it would have been better if they had been left black like the rest of the vest, or maybe painted a dark gray so it's not as much of an eyesore. You can also remove the vest and display him without it. Just pop the head off, lift his right arm up, and shimmy the vest off. Underneath, Roadblock has what looks to be a standard military-like undershirt, and I think the figure looks cool displayed both ways, so kudos to Hasbro for thinking ahead. And speaking of heads, I think the head sculpt is pretty spot on for a likeness to Dwayne Johnson. It may not be 100% perfect, but considering it's on a 3 3/4 inch scale, I think it came out looking very much like him. The eyes, eyebrows, and goatee on Roadblock's head have been applied well. Thankfully, the eyes are centered well enough, and there's also a nice brown iris behind the pupil, again matching Dwayne Johnson in real life. Now let's look at his articulation. Roadblock has a ball-jointed neck that allows the head to move left and right. He has ball-jointed shoulders that can move out as well as rotate 360 degrees. Swivel-hinged elbows that can bend back and forth as well as rotate 360 degrees. His wrists can turn all the way around and have hinges on the sides of them to allow him to hold his weapons easier. He also has a floating ab joint under the vest that has a very good range of motion, allowing him to tilt forward and back as well as side to side. The figure has ball-jointed hips that allow the legs to be spread apart and can move forward and backward. Double-jointed knees. And his ankles can pivot back and forth as well as have very good rocker ankles thanks to a pin inserted into the foot at a 45-degree angle, making the foot tilt whenever you turn it on the joint. So unlike many of the figures in the first wave of the Retaliation line, Roadblock here is jam-packed with articulation, perfect for just about any kind of pose you could put him in. Roadblock comes with a ton of accessories. First off, he comes with a giant gun, because what would Roadblock be without a giant gun to wield, right? Now, I'm no gun expert, so I won't embarrass myself by trying to name what this is, but if anyone in the comments knows, feel free to point out the exact name. Suffice it to say, it's a big gun, complete with its own tripod, It's actually a remold of the same gun that came with the 25th anniversary Roadblock figure from many years ago, which is a nice callback. Okay, now let's talk about the battle kata system this figure utilizes. It's actually a rather ingenious system involving various combinations of Roadblock's weapons. It starts with these hand grips that look like they have brass knuckles on the outside. Everything else locks into these. You can take the barrels of his guns and clip them to the top, so he has 2 pistols he can fire. He also comes with 2 dagger blades that can clip into each of the grips for some close quarters stabbing. There's 2 larger knife blades as well, because variety is always important when you're stabbing your enemies. And then he also comes with what I'm assuming is meant to be some sort of kendo stick or tonfa-like weapon that Roadblock can use to bludgeon some Cobra baddies. And of course you can mix and match them, so one grip has, say, a knife on the end while the other has a gun clipped onto it. There's several combinations you can use that adds a lot of display potential to the Roadblock figure. And for an added bonus, Roadblock's vest is completely functional and can holster all of his battle kata weapons. The figure includes a set of instructions showing where each weapon goes. The tonfa stick goes on his back. The guns go in his holsters on his hips. The brass knuckle grips clip onto the bottom of his vest. The dagger blades slide into the lower sheaths on the front of his vest. One of his knives goes into the highest sheath on the front of his vest. And the other knife goes into a sheath attached to the bottom of his leg. And here Roadblock is with all of his weapons attached to him. It's amazing that Hasbro can get such great, well-executed play detail into such a small scale and not have it detract from the design of the figure. I'm a sucker for a figure being able to holster weapons, so I definitely love that Roadblock has that capability. And now for some comparisons. Here's the Battle Kata Roadblock figure standing next to the 25th anniversary Roadblock action figure. My, how far Hasbro has come since 2007, huh? It's immediately apparent how much G.I. Joe figures have evolved in just a few short years, and shows how Hasbro is able to constantly update G.I. Joe to make their previous figures look extremely dated. And just for fun, here he is next to a custom Roadblock figure I made back in 2009, after the release of the Rise of Cobra movie. I wanted to make Roadblock as I thought he might look in a live-action movie someday. Not exactly accurate to how it eventually played out, but not a bad guess either, right? Battle Kata Roadblock is a really great figure. It never ceases to amaze me how much detail and accuracy Hasbro can put into such small figures, from the sculpting to how the accessories work. Roadblock really is a great example of that. The design for the character is excellent, and I think even fans who don't necessarily like the movie would still love this figure in their collection, as the design feels very much like the Pursuit of Cobra or 30th Anniversary style aesthetic, and this figure could just as easily be a POC style Roadblock. Later this year, Hasbro is releasing an Ultimate Roadblock figure, which is supposed to be more movie accurate and come with a different giant gun, but doesn't utilize the battle kata system like this one, which I think makes this one worth picking up too. He's currently at stores right now, though if you don't feel like driving around hunting for him, you can buy him online at Big Bad Toy Store. I'll provide a link in the description. Be sure to check out www.mintconditioncustom.com to see more action figure reviews and to see my gallery of custom action figures. And remember, Mint Condition Customs is where action figures aren't toys, they're interactive art. Thanks for watching. Do you smell what Roadblock is cooking?
From here, yes, I can, and it smells horrible.
Rock bottom! The people's elbow! Stay down, jabroni!
I give up. Just no more wrestling jokes.